but he still had to gap me. Come on. Go back to California. All right, everyone. We're here at Lake Monroe, here in the beautiful state of Indiana, and we're gonna check out this car. And what I wanna go over in this car is, first, we're gonna check out this body style, which I absolutely dig. Then we're gonna go over the drivetrain. We're gonna see what's under the hood. We're gonna see that 6-speed transmission manual. And then lastly, we're gonna conclude with my beater score. Even though this is not a beater, we're gonna kind of just work with it. So come on over and let's check out this front end. All right, starting out with this front end, we can see these aggressive headlights, which I absolutely love. All the Subaru WRXs have always had the headlights stand out on each model. The bug eye, the raptor eye, it goes on and on. Personally, I do really love the 2018 and, you know, the following year's models headlights. These things are sick. The grille is aggressive. The hood scoop, I mean, you just don't see these on any other car. And you really can't put it on any car because it looks only good on this WRX. All right, moving on to the side of the car. The side profile, it's slick. I love these extra aggressive flares right there. And also the rims, you know, I think they're good. People love to change the rims on these cars, and I'm really a fan of that. I know the bronze looks really good, especially with the older models, but personally I'm a fan of these rims. Maybe black would look cooler, but you know, overall the side profile is really highlighted here. I have a roof rack, and I think that just looks good on this car. I put a ski rack, I'm a skier. So moving on, let's look at the back now, which is probably the best part of the Subaru WRX in comparison, honestly, to the brand new model they just came out with. We all know Subaru ruined the WRX. They made it look like a Honda Civic. So this rear end right here is legendary, and this is probably the best Subaru rear end they've ever made, in my opinion, of course. We got this 4-tip exhaust. I got this little extra light, you know, got the mods on her, but overall, this rear end just fits with the rest of this car. Really aggressive, really low, and gives the WRX really just this sporty, aggressive car look. Before we move into the interior, I want to point out these door dings. I got all over the side right here. Hopefully these give me some beater points, you know. Really rough looking from my sister, can't do much about it. But let's move on to the interior. Starting out with the back. Pretty spacious for, you know, a sedan, I'd say, of this size. Let me get in here. You know, it works, but I'm not back here very often driving, so that doesn't really matter. Let's check out where all the magic happens, the driver's seat. I mean, get a quick look into there. As you can see, it's just clean, black. This is the cloth base model, so can't really expect much. Let me hop in there and gonna just show you. You know, you got your clutch, perfect, 6-speed transmission. Everything you need right here, not too complicated, simple, and that's kind of what I like. A lot of these cars these days, you see too much technology where the technology starts going wrong, and that ends to, you know, expensive replacements. The WRX is just simple, and that's what I like about it. We'll see more of that when we turn and look under the hood. All right, everyone, let me give you a little interior tour. Let's put this key in, let's fire up, see what she does. That's sick. You see we only got 46K on the clock, keeping her low. But let's fire right up. It's not a cold start, unfortunately, but you get the gist of it. Love this monitor right here. Shows you how much boost you're pushing. Allows us to see we got, you know, my peak, of course, I've maxed it out at 21 pounds of boost, but another thing I really love about this interior is this carbon fiber. Not sure if it's fake. I really want to believe that it's real, but it really makes the car look even sportier. This is an aftermarket shift knob. You know, the other one's fine, but this one's a bit more heavier, feels a bit better in your hand. But overall, the interior is pretty simple. I put a lot of, you know, things in here to just make it look nicer, including all these cup holder things. So that's about the interior. Pretty basic. All right, guys, let's get to the part where everyone's been waiting for. Let's see what's under the hood. Come on in, check it out. Some leaves up in here, but this is the 2.0 Subaru Boxer with the turbocharger pushing around 21 pounds of boost. And right here we're seeing numbers that are roughly 289 horsepower. Obviously, my engine's a little bit dirty. Usually I like to keep it clean, but you know, it's been a dirty winter. So this, I think this engine is perfect. It makes enough power for this car. Come back over here, I just want to point something out is you see how much space is in this engine. You see the engine bay is so open, very easy to work on. Cars these days are just covered in plastics. You can't even see the engine. And it's nice for me, I can see my turbocharger. It's right down there in the front. And all the other components going backwards. It just looks like a real engine, not something fake. So, and paired with the hood scoop, obviously, which we can see is real. This thing just absolutely rips. And then when you pair this engine with the asymmetrical four-wheel drive that comes standard on all these cars, you have very great slip resistance. And in the snow, when you throw on a nice set of winter tires, you don't have to worry about sliding off the road at all. This thing eats it up. You can see your distribution inside the car. And all in all, I think this engine makes enough power for this car. Obviously, the STI engine with the 2.5 liter and the bigger turbo, where you get in the 350 range of horsepower. Obviously, it's probably awesomer, but enough for me. All right, everyone. So with that, we're going to conclude and we're going to give the WRX right here a beater score. And after further consideration, I have decided to rank the WRX here as a 7-7. Maybe that's because there's some bias here because I do love this car, but I think a 7-7 fits this car properly. It's not a Ferrari, it's not a McLaren, but it's a Subaru WRX, and I think it's perfect. And with that as well, we're gonna conclude our video in here. As we can see, the weather's got kind of chilly. Of course, if you're from the Midwest, the weather is quite unpredictable. So we're gonna hit the road. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and be prepared for some more content coming soon.